only 133 students in India today. With this examination results, only 0.2% students have been clearing JRF in computer science subject, and you have scored 218, and you are actually, I'm going to tell you that I think you are all India rank 1. You were one of the candidates जिनसे मुझे बात करनी ही थी.
Okay. So, okay, great, thanks.
बताइए आप, how does it happens to be at the age of 53, 54, excited to do UGC NET examination?
Yeah.
What's your
so
story?
it was in my mind to do PhD for quite some time, maybe last 10 years or so I've been thinking, but for some reason or the other it used to get pushed out. So this time around I went to Delhi. I'm in Delhi, right? So I went to Delhi University, talked to a couple of profs, and then that was the first time I realized now there's a UGC NET that you have to give before even you can apply for a PhD. I wasn't even aware of all this process, right? So I started looking at the UGC NET syllabus, etc., what is required, and I then figured out, although I have experience in computer science, but there are a lot more things which get added here, which get asked in UGC, right? Paper 1 is totally new, right? So never, of course you understand common sense things, but there's a lot of theoretical part to it. And similarly in computer science, right, my focus is more on the embedded world. I have good knowledge on OS, etc., right? But again, there are a lot of theoretical things which you need to understand. So I quickly figured out, right, that with the limited time that I have, if I have to make progress, I need to join some structured way of learning, right? And then I looked around on the web. As I said, this was not something I was looking at, right? So first I purchased a couple of books from the web, right? Started going through the books, and then book material was so huge, you couldn't really complete in this, right? You need more focused, structured way of studying.
Dedicated.
So that's when I looked around, found JRFAdda. I looked at some of your videos where you were explaining on YouTube some for the previous batch, right? And I found them pretty interesting, right? The way you were explaining, and you were from computers only, right? So, and you have started the JRFAdda thing. So I decided to join JRFAdda. And then, yes, it went well.
Okay, so it's a great thing. Pretty simple. It seems pretty simple, but I must be very, very, interested in this stuff that you said that you started your journey with this instinct, a desire of doing PhD. So definitely you have a background of computer science teaching, I'm guessing it. So have you been teaching computer science, or you've been working in corporate? Or?
In corporate. I have been in corporate all along, right? Currently, I'm a senior director in AMD.
Sorry, sir? Senior director here?
In AMD.
AMD, okay.
Yeah, okay. So, so interestingly, teaching I have done, right? So when I had passed out from my college, my profs, they contacted me to take some guest lectures in Delhi College of Engineering. So I had that time taken some lectures there. I'm coming from a background where my both parents are professor, my wife is a professor, she's a doctorate, right? So it is always in the environment, right? That studies and teaching, so it goes there. So that's why I wanted to do a PhD.
Okay, that's a pretty interesting story. May I know what subjects you have all around in your family?
So my mother in economics, my father in civil engineering, my wife in electronics, specifically optical electronics is her PhD topic, right? So
okay, so proper technical family background.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's great. Okay, so what was the most difficult thing? I would definitely want to know, because you have a busy schedule, obviously, you're working and at the same time, because usually a lot of students of my age, because I am talking to you not, honestly speaking, not as a teacher or stuff, but it's a very interesting situation for me to understand the mindset of someone who have a lot of experience in their particular field. At the same time, they are interested in fighting an examination which right now currently a lot of young breed is going towards this examination in the awe of assistant professorship and stuff like that, but they have one particular excuse, limited time, I would not say it, but yeah, I mean, like lame excuses like I'm doing this, how to do that, falana dhimkana. So what is that one thing, because you have been really busy, so how was it for you to manage time, in order to prepare for this examination, because it is difficult. It's not easy. Only 133 students in India today with this examination results, only 0.2% students have been clearing JRF in computer science subject, and you have scored 218, and you are actually, I'm going to tell you that I think you are all India rank 1, because I haven't heard more score than 218. So I think you're the highest. So of course, congratulations for that also. So you've been you are going to be an inspiration for a lot of people for two reasons. First, because your score is really good, and second, of course, at this time, at this age, at this experience, because you have achieved everything in your life, and still you have done this examination, passed with the flying colors. So what is that one thing? How could you manage time, and what suggestion would you give to young breed, because they always have this thing in you. I'm sure that you have kids, so you must feel the same thing that I feel right now, because mostly a lot of people that I'm teaching is kind of my age or 2 or 3 years younger to me, but all have this particular set of problem. I face it every time, this time management issue. So please talk about it.
I will start with first appreciating you, right? In terms of time management, you have started a new venture, right? Which itself takes a lot of effort and time, just managing it. And then you are teaching also, right? You are taking classes, taking live classes, doubt classes, right? Along with managing stuff. It's not easy. I have seen the corporate world, so I can appreciate like the kind of efforts you are putting in to get this working. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
And in terms of like what worked for me, I think it comes innate. I have been sort of a gold medalist all throughout my life, right? Whether it's my BTech, whether it's my MTech, whether it's my MBA, all along I have been a gold medalist. So that desire to excel is always there. And I have been doing, except for BTech, which I did my full-time, rest of the things I did part-time also. So this time management, sort of I have done in earlier courses also. This time around it was more difficult because of the limited time. I think it was just, 3 months. I started in March, and then luckily it got pushed out till third week of June, which was like 2-3 weeks of blessing for me because I got some more time. I primarily looked at your videos recording. I could not look at the live. I did not. I know you kept saying why don't students join live, etc. But I couldn't. I had to look only at the recordings. One thing which helped the most, I would say, is your paper to notes, handwritten notes. Right? They were really excellent. Why? Because they see it was like everything condensed. Right? They are real notes. So I listened to the recording and went through the notes. I think that was a big help. When the time is less, people want to look at small notes, right? So what paper one I did was I took the printout of all the presentations which were there and then handwritten, added some notes to it. I did not look at the paper one book, but paper two book was really good, right? That's where I really looked, right?
Okay.
So that was sort of my preparation strategy.
Okay. So how much you scored in paper one?
Trying to recall. I think 38 questions were correct in paper one. And,
okay, that's really nice, because I kind of, when I strategize it for computer science students, because usually a computer science aspirant is very bad with paper one stuff. They don't study only. They don't study only paper one. So usually I expect them to, do 30 to 35 range. That iske andar, if they have something, तो बहुत बढ़िया हो जाएगा. But 38 is really good. So obviously, when I know your background, so you're from mathematics, so maths, DI, logical reasoning, these are something that definitely you do. Other than that, how was the research part? Because you're going to go for PhD, so you're going to, I want my feedback so that I can improve. Where should I, work on that? What was the research wala part?
So, sorry, in between the connection was a bit glossy. I could not hear you. Can you repeat the question?
I was talking about how was the other units, maths, logical reasoning and data interpretation. These are like, it's your forte. But how was the other units like research unit and teaching unit? I definitely will ask you about my feedback for research unit also, because I want to improve in that also. And you're going to do PhD, so how relevant it was?
Yeah, so research unit was definitely done very well. I think some of the examples you took and you kept repeating helped in putting those correlation, right, in easy to remember. The Chola Bhatura thing example that you gave, going to London example that you gave, right? So I think giving those examples help and help in retaining stuff, right? So I think that was really good.
I want to, put all the eyes on research topic, because this is one thing that is going to help them for the rest of their life. If they want to go for PhD or even assistant professorship, even for their promotion also, for assistant professor to associate or to professorship, they have to do PhD. And the kind of scenario right now we have, leave the mainstream universities, background. Other than that, nobody teaches research aptly. Like, for example, if we talk about us, in computer science, there is no one who's teaching research. I don't think that in my graduation or post-graduation, I have ever heard of stuff like that. Yes, in MTech, in the last time you do dissertation work, but that's really surface level. So yes, definitely I'm going to take that feedback and I'm going to make it more interesting, so that for a recorded lecture also it is helpful. That's a great thing. One thing that I'm definitely going to ask you about is how did you manage your time while attempting the examination? Because there was a constant, issue of lengthy paper. The paper was very lengthy. The paper was very lengthy. And second question, which is related to this one also, because you have studied the complete computer science course, how much, relevant what you have studied in the course was for your paper? Like, was it difficult? Was it the same level? Were you able to apply things? And how can a student, think in this manner? Because a lot of student thinks that if the paper is lengthy, it's difficult to attempt. Or is it the problem from the student side that they are not applying correctly? So these are two things that I will definitely want you to answer.
So one thing which happened in the paper was that there were certain questions which were not written properly. Like, for example, there was a DFA question where in the set A, B, C, D, and they had put in F there, right? So it forces you to think, right? At that point, right? In pressure, you spend that extra cycles reading that question, right? Or options where there are multiple options correct, like the AVL tree and the red-black tree, right? There's the multiple options, and you have to think 2-3 times, look at the questions, have whether you're missing anything in the question, and then choose one of those. So there were like quite a few of these. So overall, like if they were properly structured, then they would have gone through quickly, right? But just because they were not structured or written properly or the answers are not proper, you took that extra time out there. So that was like one thing which I felt. And I think in the pressure, it happens with everyone.
It is wasting time also. Like GATE has this pattern. They do give you so many lines to read, which is of no use. So it kind of wastes time for a student attempting in the real time.
Yeah. And a lot of questions here were multiple matching, right? So when you do multiple, then you also have to read a lot of text, right? And then say one, try to see with the next 4, this with next 4, right? So I think there were a lot of this time around, right? So again, which took time. So from a time management point of view, I think by the time I was finishing, I was also struggling. Like it was not as if I was comfortably coasting through. It was a blessing in disguise or whatever, like the question 141 to 145, right? Which was on that block thing. So that's the part we hadn't studied. I didn't find anything in that material. All questions were there except for 141 to 145. I attempted the 141 questions till some time, trying to make sense and make some good logical choices by looking at this thing. Within few, like 1 minute or so, I realized it's difficult. And with the time left, I will not be able to then do the remaining 5 questions. So then I quickly took a decision, 141 to 145, let's just put whatever, A, B, C, D, whatever, just go ahead. And then switch to like the last 5, which were on that disk thing, right? So I would say it was a blessing in disguise or whatever, right? The 5 questions I did not know were at the end. And when my time was less, I just skipped those 5, right? Otherwise, if those 5 also had known, then I would have come out feeling bad that I did not manage the time well. But here, that feeling was not there because I could skip those. But yes, time was difficult this time around.
Okay.
You had to continuously look at. So by the time I finished paper 1, I had something available with me because I had used less than 1 hour. But as progressively I was going in paper 2, I was sort of losing that time.
Okay. So, and overall, how many tests you attempt before giving the real examination?
I think I attempted 6 to 7 from the mock. So paper 1, paper 2, like they were good, definitely, right? But as progressively I was going forward, and I did it in the last 1 week or so. If you were doing sort of spread out, you will probably forget also. But since I was doing like every day, so as to say, then I could sense that. Yeah, so I think 6, 7 I did.
Okay, so and what about ignition batch? Did you attempt that?
Yeah. That all I did diligently. Ignition 1, Ignition 2, everything. Not live, but everything I attempted.
Yes, so basically you did attempt your all previous year questions.
Yeah, everything.
Okay, so it was definitely, paper was not very difficult, but yes, time management was pretty
paper was not difficult. Right?
What was your review to see the paper? How was it? What was your review to see the paper after studying so much? I'm just trying to get out the perspective of a student who have studied a lot, studied everything, full syllabus. I want that review from a student, because when I review the paper, I review as an educator. So I see things what I have taught or I haven't taught. So I see it from the teacher perspective. But I just want to know the perspective of a student who have cleared this examination, must have done everything correct. Studying while preparing. So according to you, what were your perspective? Like right now, if today I want you to review the paper, this June 2025 computer science paper 2, what will be your review?
So a couple of things. I think every student should be doing multiple revisions. You have been saying that again and again, right? And I also observed it. I've gone through once, right? And then when attempting questions, you are not recollecting certain concepts. So that multiple revisions is very important. In fact, even in the paper also, there were like some questions I know I have studied them, but they were not clicking at that point in time. Like last day I had a choice whether I should go and this was in software quality. I should revise the software quality paper or I do something on the paper 1. So I reviewed paper 1, but there were a lot of questions on this one which came. So that was one. And I think on the paper quality, I would still say they can make it more application oriented. The UGC NET. It's still more of knowledge based, right?
Static.
Yes. So that application is still missing, right? Paper 1 is more so, right?
Paper 1 is getting better and better day by day. It's getting great.
Yeah.
Okay. So overall now you have a very important decision to make, and that is will you go for a full-time PhD or a part-time PhD? What is your next move?
No, I have to go with part-time only. In fact, as I said, I've been thinking of PhD for quite some time. I have talked to some of the IIT profs also, and one of the profs sort of discouraged me not to do a part-time. Then I went to a DU prof and he was sort of okay. And there was another person also who was doing part-time. So at least people are doing part-time. I know it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. We'll see. I'm at the stage of life where not too much of family commitments are also there. My son is like already a doctor, so he's settled.
Great.
So I can,
Okay, so it's fine. I mean, like you are at the best phase of your life. You can try everything you want. It's difficult.
Okay.
A lot of people will be envious to know that, because a lot of people preparing and watching this video will be someone who's struggling to start their career, if I can say so. But yes, thank you so much, sir. It has been a pleasure talking to you, and it's a great inspiration. I will always remember this chat. Last time, like I was telling you, last time I had a student who was around your age only, and she was also a teacher since a long time in Mumbai University, and she got her UGC NET examination cleared. She also cleared the JRF cutoff like you did, and it was my pleasure to meet her physically also. So this is something that definitely I request, or I should say I demand as the Guru Dakshina, that I would love to meet you. On 27th of July, we are doing a small stuff. You understand that JRFAdda is a startup, and we have come across 2.5, 3 years. We are trying and managing things to provide that vision that I started it off with, aspiring and to inspire. So we are trying to, collect those memories, pass on that, inspiration that people like you provide us. So it's a small thing, small event, nothing huge. I don't personally believe in seminar and stuff. I mean, you have studied from my class, so आपने सुना होगा that I'm a very personal kind of a human being. I don't believe in big formal meetings and stuff like that. But yes, it's a small event at our offline center. So if you can manage to gather few, couple of hours in Jaipur on 27th of July, it's on Sunday, from morning 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's according to your will. Whenever, you can come for some time and, definitely inspire a lot of students there. It will be inspiration for all of them and to me, I guess. So I would love.
Great. You're really doing very well, I would say. As I said, started off with, right, starting up new, right, and you, in a very small period of time, you have made a big name of this institute, right? Really excellent work being done by you.
Yes, definitely. I'm going to take a lot of suggestions from you for the management part also, because you've been managing yourself. So I think a lot of common things I'll get from you. So I would love to meet you, definitely. And thank you so much for doing this interview. As a team, JRFAdda is very, very inspired by you, sir. And congratulations for your selection. And I hope and I wish that you do great. And someday, when you complete your PhD, we will definitely talk. And I will definitely take another interview after you complete your PhD. And definitely take your suggestions with the PhD stuff also, because I'm going to start the PhD part also. In India, there is no one talking about real PhD. Nobody talking about entrance of PhD. Yes, we have an examination. Yes, people like you and me have some approach or some connection to people. The real people, people sitting in IITs and mainstream universities. We can go and talk. But actually, when we talk about the majority of students in our country, they have no knowledge. They know nothing about PhD, entrance, research proposal making. So yes, that is something that I'm very, very inspired about. Starting next as a product after UGC NET examination. So that is something, a project that I'm going to start. So definitely people like you will definitely be very, very utility, for a lot of students. They will talk about a lot of bad questions to you. I know, because I get it. ये क्या होता है, वो क्या होता है, start कैसे होता है. I don't think they have any knowledge. So yes, this is something that is going to be my next project, and I will definitely want you to talk about that also on 27th, if you come. And that if is eliminated, you have to come. It's like a Guru Dakshina thing that I'm asking. I only need one thing, that you have to come there. It is going to be a big thing for me.
And all the best for starting this PhD thing.
Thank you. Thank
you.
You
have identified a good need, and it would be pretty helpful to the students.
I hope we do something good, something authentic, like we always try to do it with JRFAdda also. So thank you so much. And yes, it was nice to meet you, sir. Hoping to see you
Thanks a lot.
on 27th.
Yeah, bye.